How did you start getting your first customers?
Well, when I moved back, I didn't jump right back into business. One of the reasons that we ended up moving back, my wife and my kids and I, was my wife has MS, multiple sclerosis, and with no family support where we were, it was getting harder and harder to sustain our type of the way of life. With me working and with three young kids, we needed more family support. So we decided to pack everything up and move to Prince Edward Island. And it was really hard to leave Calgary because I love that city. It was very good to me. You know, there were some bad times, but I mean, there was a lot of great times. And so when I got back here, I just needed to take a few and just go get a job with another company, work by the hour as just another employee, and kind of reset myself. I mean, I think as an entrepreneur, I will always have that hunger and that need to have my own company. But I just needed a little bit of time to kind of reset. So I went and worked with a local barn builder, which is totally not cabinets. And I got a full education in concrete and scissor lifts and, being at very high heights, which I don't enjoy.
Yeah, me either.
And, but I mean, it was cool. I mean, we built, giant potato warehouses and all out of ICF and, giant dairy barns that milk the cows all by themselves. Like, I mean, the technology that's in this stuff now is just crazy. Um, and then after they ran out of work because a lot of jobs on PEI are seasonal because of the tourists. So the population swells up during the summer and there's so much work and everything's going on. And then the winter, the population shrinks right back down. And, there is a lot of people that don't work during the winter because there's just nothing going on. There's entire quadrants of the island that just kind of are ghost towns until the tourist season ramps back up. But yeah, so I ended up getting on with a local company here, Massey Fine Homes, and he's on Instagram. Great guy, and he took me on and had a lot of interesting projects. And I ended up getting to do some kitchens through him and some other built-in cabinetry, which is on my Instagram page. And yeah, it just got to the point now where it was time for me to go back on my own. And it's so busy here right now that there's tons of work to go around, and I want to make sure I capitalize on that busy time to get my name out there and you know be the one people call when they need a kitchen.
All right, let's break that down. How are you doing that? Like after you left Massey and started your own, how are you getting calls come to you instead of to somebody else?
Well, me and Jared, the owner of Massey Fine Homes, there we um, worked very well together, and he is a local builder, and so I am doing kitchens for him. So
Perfect.
we are on great terms, and it seems to work out very well. And I word of mouth is pretty huge here, as it is everywhere, and I'm lucky that growing up here, I know quite a few people, and I've started to put my feelers out there and let people know that I'm looking for kitchens. So I have my Instagram page, which I am on quite often, and I also have a Facebook page, which just last night I ended up getting an email from someone looking for a kitchen off my Facebook
Is
page.
that your first one?
That's my first one. I literally have 15 people that like that page. And it just happened that I just shared a picture of the kitchen I just finished, and it got a lot of exposure. There, 6 people shared it, and I think 700 or 800 people have seen it. And it just happened that this guy saw it, and he's having trouble with his cabinet guy that he hired with not showing up and delaying the project on a few different occasions. And I'm gonna go have a look and see what they got going on.
That's
But
awesome. Does that make you stop and think about Facebook in any different way than you did before?
It does. I really don't put any effort into Facebook, but I mean, I think I'm not being smart with doing that because that's where the local audience is, and I think I'm going to pay more attention to that page and update there more regularly, and see what comes of it.
What was it about that photo that people wanted to share so bad?
I don't know. I guess the kitchen looks good.
Yeah.
That's I put a lot into that kitchen. There's a lot of extra steps with the island. It's got that extra wrap on the bottom. There's posts and there's panels, and it looks more like a piece of furniture than it does kitchen cabinets. And that's what people are used to here. They're used to just two or three cabinets screwed together, and then a bunch of doors glued or screwed to the outside, and that's it. So when they see something that's quite a bit more nice than what they're used to seeing, I think it gets that positive response, and that's exactly what I was looking for.
Yes, that's awesome. I mean, if you post regularly and promote your own work, that's wonderful. But it really takes another level when people start sharing it with their followers. It has that kind of third party feel where it's not you selling it so much as it is somebody else selling it for you, and that's the power of it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that it got 6 shares, and it did fantastic. It's definitely my best post that I've ever put up anywhere.
How about Instagram? Have you gotten any phone calls or emails or leads through your Instagram?
I had one lead, but it didn't amount to a project. But I'm so busy that that's all right at this point. I think Instagram is more for me anyway. It's a place to learn. I mean, there's some fantastic carpenters on there, and I follow a few very certain guys closely and watch what they're doing, and I feel like I'm going to school again when I'm on there watching some of those videos from stories.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. So, have you done any blogging or SEO or anything like that to help market your business?
I haven't done any blogging or SEO. I did register my business for the free Google account, and I got my first review up there because I read your book, and it says get some reviews up there. So it's one of those things where on the island here, there's most of the companies operate on word of mouth only. And, the biggest cabinet company on the island only has 2 reviews. So I plan on surpassing that by the end of this year and, just keep on going.
I think that's really smart because a lot of the what you just said, the biggest or the big companies, they're not even thinking about the internet. They've got their name, they have the reputation, and a lot of people know about them, and they don't feel the need. But what about a time of recession? What about growing, in the future? What about the next generation of homeowners who are using the phone every day to look up stuff? And that's where if you start now, you got that one review and you start getting two or three more over time, Google's going to say PEI Carpenter needs to rank higher than these guys because people like his stuff.
Yeah. And you can also do like updates on what you're up to on there as well. So every few days I throw an update on what I'm doing onto there as well, just to, let Google know that I'm here. And,
Kind of
you
like you
know,
do on Instagram.
exactly. I might throw some different photos up on there, but, same idea, just to kind of let, people know here's another kitchen that I'm starting today, and then I'll show some progress pics right through to the end, and then start her all over again.
Do you have your own website?
Right now, I don't, but I do have a good friend of mine that is developing it for me. We've been working pretty hard on getting the content up there. I've been going through your book pretty page by page and making sure that I'm taking a lot of what you said in there and putting it into the page. And when it's up and going, hopefully by the new year, it should be a pretty great page because he's a talented guy, and he did build my website for me when I was out in Calgary, and it got a lot of positive remarks, but the wording wasn't right, and I'm definitely going to make sure that the wording's right on this next one.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I always want to see that you have a home base, because your Google page, your Instagram, your Facebook, that's all wonderful to have that social media presence, but your home base is your site that you own and control, and you want to draw people back there. So that's great.